So we're going to go through Ed Reed coming out of the tunnel here and talk about the global laws through the full cycle. So we just want to be examining everything we've gone over with the global law intro. So we want to talk about the bow phase, which is the loading here. So the loading of the column. So Ed Reed's loading his right column here. So we're going to keep our eyes on the right column for this whole cycle. So we have the load phase where we load the bow. Head moves into the column, chest, elbow pit, kneecap, point out 22.5 on top of the straight foot that's playing inner ankle bone high. So we see how the lace line, tongue line, sock line stay high as this bow sets. So we get our down, back, and out action during the loading phase. And now the next phase of the cycle is the transfer. And so here's the move where we take the chest that's pointing out and we start to point it in. We take the upper arm that's pointing out, we start to point it in. We take the thigh and the shin that are pointing out and we start to point them in. So the landing was a down, back, and out action, and the cornering transfer is a up, around, and in. So there's a load, down, back, and out, and then the corner transfers up, around, and in. And that's taking place at these ball and socket and coupled motion compartments up and down the chain. And then the tracking system just stays steady and the foot control compartment stays steady above and below. So now we go into the transfer. Kneecap that's pointing out starts to point in. Look at the NFL logo at the base of the jersey up top. You look at it, you see it from pointing out, start to point in. You see the elbow pit start to point in. You can see the elbows start to go away and the thumbs start to move down. So this would be the transfer part of things. And you can see how the inner ankle bone climbs high. We stay on the outside corner. And now this transfer leads into the release. And so on a release, we see that nice elbow and heel away action, just sort of the signature of the transfer that just happened before. And now we are in a reset phase. So now you see the arm finish its corner, the leg finish its corner, and then watch them sort of regroup in the air. And so the right arm is going to start to pull back into its bow. It won't be in the bow yet. You can kind of still see that the elbow's away. So it's just starting its reset, just like the right leg. And because these ball and sockets on the right column need to stay sort of in the corner so that the ball and sockets on the left column during this part of the cycle can start to grab the pressure and load their bow. So as you're resetting the right side, you're loaded up on the left side, and then watch the reset complete in the right column as the corner takes place in the left column. So we corner the left side, and then the right side finishes its opening. And now we're ready again to do the same thing we started with, which would be the load into the right column, followed by the transfer into the release, and then the eventual reset. So backing that up, going through the cycle again, load the column. What are our markers we want to see? Head goes into the column, check. So the nose is over the second toe, eyes over the corner of the foot, good. The chest points out, the elbow pit points out, the kneecap points out, and it all happens on top of a straight foot that's inner ankle bone high. Lace line, tongue line, sock line trending high. Okay, let's keep that marker at the foot level as we do what? Take those ball and sockets, kneecap, chest, elbow pit, start to turn them up, around, and in. And then that leads into the release, which then leads into the reset, which then leads into another time